Hey guys. I haven't done one of these in a while. You know, mainly because work has been really busy, and um, busy's good. Busy's better than bored. So that's a positive thing. If you don't know, it's impossible not. It's impossible for you not to know, but there's been daily protests in Philly since I think Friday, this past Friday, in response to George Floyd's death. And they pale in comparison to the protests in Minneapolis. But so here's my thinking. So when protests turn into riots, I find it very difficult to establish a stance. I'm not on I'm on the side of the protesters for sure, and I have friends that were protesting, and for good reason. But the people that say like, oh, it's not all cops that are like this. It's a few bad eggs. They're like half right, because not all cops are killers. Not all cops are racist. But enough of them are, and it's not even a race issue. It's the way that police are trained to assume everybody's a suspect and everybody is a threat. They're trained for wartime on American soil, and that is stupid. But obviously it affects people of color way more than people like me. I had an interaction with a police officer today on my way home from work. I was getting frustrated by all the road closures and things like that, and I saw a pattern that the roads were closed around police headquarters. There's one in kind of center city, like 6th and Arch. There's a police headquarters right there. There is a police headquarters on I think it's around, it's not on Spring Garden, but it's around Spring Garden and 21st. And Spring Garden and 21st is the way that I take to get home. So I was pissed already that I had to go around to get home, and I had to go every which way. And there was a cop kind of blocking the road, but there was enough room for me to get past. So I started driving through, inching forward. I didn't want him to be pissed or arrest me or something like that. But he asked me, I was like, can I get through? And he was like, no, it's closed. And I was like, okay, all right. He was like, he said it like that, already annoyed by what I was saying. Even though I had seen somebody else go through. So when I pulled up and was like, can I go through? I feel like that's a reasonable question, But he got all pissed and asked me where I was going, and I said I was going home, and then he got even more pissed Like, where are you? Like, where? What? Where are you going? I don't live at your house. I'm like, okay, fine. No need to be a douche about it. You know? And you know, I was like, oh, I said my neighborhood. I said the neighborhood that I said, well, first I said South Philly. And he was like, where in South Philly? And I said my neighborhood. And he was like, not your neighborhood. Where? What's the actual address? And I was like, you know, I didn't say this, but to myself, I was like, fuck you. I'm not giving you my address. Why would I do that? I'm not under arrest. I have no legal obligation to give you any information. Go fuck yourself, is what I said in my head. But, you know, and I eventually backed off, and I went around and got home eventually, like 40 minutes after I could have been home. But on my way home, after I interacted with that cop, I thought about my white privilege, because you know how like you ever been in an argument with somebody and the argument kind of dissipates, and you know you're still heated, you're still angry about what went down, and you kind of run through like, ooh, I wish I had said this. You know, it would have been devastating had I said this, if I had thought about it at the time, you know. You know, that was what I was thinking. I was like, if I had said this, what would have happened? Yeah, it would have been devastating. And there's a chance the cop would have been like pissed and like gotten out of his car and, you know, like threatened to arrest me until I backed up and stuff like that. And, you know, if I had kept moving forward, he would have been justified in arresting me, absolutely. But like, cops, sometimes you see it all the time. It's not all of them, but you see it all the time. There's not a surplus of videos of cops like giving people a break, or you know giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. The videos are of like police brutality and police kneeling on somebody's neck, refusing to get up after they've been pleading that they can't breathe and they don't want to die. You know, so he very well could have, if I had said what I wanted to say, he could have gotten out of his car, and if I hadn't been white, there's a fair to definite chance he would have arrested me, or worse. And, you know, I think part of my white privilege is thinking about police and interactions with police and thinking the worst thing he can do to me is arrest me. That's the worst thing. Because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I carry a knife every day, so maybe that would be an issue. But whenever I get pulled over for speeding, or I got pulled over a year or two ago for my tags were expired, and as soon as the cop came up to the door, I've seen videos of gun guys doing this. They just say, "Hey, before we go any further, just so you know, I have a pistol in my glove compartment, or it's on my hip." I said to the cop that pulled me over for the expired tags, I was like, "Just so you know, I have a hunting knife in my pocket." And he was like, "Okay, cool, awesome, thanks for telling me." And I've seen videos where cops will be like, "All right, cool, thank you for telling me. Could you take it out of the holster and put it on the dash for me?" And that's fine. And they're cordial, and it's always a white guy saying this to a cop. I mean, I've never seen a video where somebody driving admits to a cop that they have a weapon on them. But if you're legally allowed to have a weapon, you might as well tell them that you have a weapon, because that's just start off from a place of complete honesty, and you can't go wrong. But in any kind of traffic stop or anything like that, when I'm completely honest to the cop, the worst thing that they can do is arrest me, because I told them the truth. I have, I don't consider my knives weapons. They're tools. They're not for self-defense or anything like that. I just like them, and they're useful at work sometimes. So, but that's my white privilege is I don't even have to think about that. Like I've never felt scared for my life in front of a cop. One time, one interaction I had with a cop, I thought he was going to arrest me, and that was the scariest part. I was 18. It was the first week of college. This kid I had met on the first day, and I were walking down the street, like from some girl's house to another house for a party, and we both had red Solo cups full of whatever. I don't even remember what it was. I remember it wasn't good, and I wasn't drinking it. But the this cop pulled up and said, "Hey, what's in those cups?" And we were like, "Oh, sorry, it's whatever." I think it was wine. We said it was wine. And in that moment, I was like, "Holy shit! I've been in college for 2 days, and I'm about to be arrested for underage drinking or cited for underage drinking or something like that." And thankfully, the cop was like, "All right, cool. Just pour it out. You can't have open containers on the street," which is true. He didn't check our IDs. He didn't, follow us or anything like that. He just, poured out. He watched us pour the drinks into the bushes, and he moseyed on along. But two white kids, scrawny. We looked like we were 18 because we were, and he just drove off, and that's the only scary, really scary instance I've had with a cop, in my adult years. Granted, I haven't had a lot of those adult years, but still, that's it. I've been around police officers and been around, bike cops, stuff like that, through school, and I never felt on edge, it's just not something I know how to relate to, which is why, I get kind of frustrated with, people I know, like friends of mine that, have never spoken out about, racial inequality or blue on black crime, that kind of stuff, meaning police on the African American community. It's it frustrates me when they are speaking out now, and if racial inequality and blue on black crime and police brutality weren't bothering you until now, you suck. All right? Or, you know what? You just weren't paying attention. I'm not going to say you suck. Maybe you just weren't paying attention. And now you are, because it's all over social media, so now you're paying attention. But it's been a problem since forever. Not an exaggeration, forever. Since the moment Europeans, white people, interacted with Africans, people of African descent, they murdered them, raped them, took advantage of them for free labor, enslaved them, which I know is the same thing, but just unbelievable atrocities that, they're war crimes, basically. like stuff that is so awful in war. A lot of things are accepted in war because war is a terrible business. But there are some things that are so awful that you can be prosecuted for doing them in the midst of war. That's what the Geneva Convention is for. And they do shit like that. People have been doing shit like that to Africans and black people and people of color in general for centuries. Centuries, 100 years, multiple hundreds of years, which is ridiculous. It's so stupid. It's really frustrating. And, you know, I know that it's not entirely one cop's fault. I know it's a systematic abuse of power and a systematic lack of training and understanding. If I'm remembering this statistic correctly, police officers in certain states and districts are given 8 hours of de-escalation and conflict resolution courses. 8 hours, right? And they're given like 700 hours of combat training. You know, they're like it really makes no sense to me, and it makes no sense to thousands of people, and that's why people are protesting, because it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid and illogical and just dumb, you know. But you know, honestly, my opinion really doesn't matter in this kind of debate, because, you know, I'm white and privileged and have, you know, pretty much been given everything I've asked for my entire life. So my opinion doesn't matter. I did want to talk about my work really quickly. Something that kind of frustrated me today. I was running around all over the place today. Today's Wednesday. On Monday, one of my residents came to me very late in the afternoon. It was like 4 o'clock. I was getting ready to pack up my stuff and go home. But she was in tears because her check didn't come in the mail. Her Social Security check or something like that. And she was worried about that because there was a man, a drug dealer, you know, a piece of shit, was threatening her because she owed him money, and she wanted to. He wanted to collect on that money, and she had nothing. She was like shaking. She's an addict, and you know, just really in bad sorts. You know, couldn't afford. She was like crying about not being able to afford a pack of cigarettes, and like, you know, I mean, a pack of cigarettes is like $7 in Philly, which is pretty expensive, in my opinion. But she was just really messed up about it, and I was like, you know what? If you want to go to rehab tonight, I will happily take you. You know, and she was good. She was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. She was worried about potentially losing her apartment if she stays in rehab. And I went and I asked my property manager, and you know, she cleared that up. There's nothing to be worried about. And we went and I checked her in at 6 o'clock, in the evening, and everything was good. You know, no major issues. But today, Wednesday, I was driving a client to the VA, and I saw her on the street with another one of my residents who is a big problem. A resident whom the one that I took to rehab had accused of rape like 3 months ago. He was in jail because she accused him of rape. And personally, I heard her account of that incident. I believe her. All right. And from what I know about this guy, he is a douchebag. I'm gonna pick you up because I need to get my dinner out of the oven. And it was frustrating to hear that she had, kind of fallen back in with this asshole. That's not any good for her, and doesn't really care about her, just wants to use her, and it's confusing to me. I mean, the psychology of it is confusing. Like a lot of my clients, the female clients that I have, are very damaged. They have mental disabilities that are fueled by drugs, or they have drug habits that are fueled by mental illness. And they're fragile and really, really easily manipulated. I mean, I'm assuming this asshole showed her like one little scooch of of kindness, and she just like, oh, he's a good person. I'm not saying she's gullible, she's just too trusting, and people have said that about me before, so I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a classic case of she's trusting the wrong person. I don't know. It's just frustrating when she was doing really well, and seemed to be in. I mean, she was having a nervous breakdown on Monday, but when I dropped her off at detox, she seemed really like kind of in good spirits about it. Saying like, "Oh, this is the right decision. This is the first step." And it's true. She made that first step. That first step is the biggest step, which is admitting you have a problem and checking yourself into detox, which is fantastic. But there's a lot more, and I said this, there's a lot more steps that are equally as important in that journey. And the unfortunate thing about voluntarily checking yourself into rehab is that you can leave at any time. So if you lose the drive to get clean or get the help that you need, you can just say, I would like to leave, and they leave, and they let you leave because you're not a danger to yourself. You haven't been proven to be a danger to yourself or others, which is the only reason you get 302, which is the forcible checking into detox. So, it's frustrating. I was gonna talk to her today at the end of my day, but I was wiped, so I needed to go home. So you know, got to remember to take care of myself. You know, even though it's less fun taking care of myself. All right. Yeah. Well, my dinner's done, so I'm gonna eat it. It's gonna be delicious. All right. Well, I will see all you cool cats and kittens sometime else. Well.